from the Middle East towards more developments coming in. We're now learning that Russia's defense ministry has stated that its forces are continuing operations on several fronts. Meanwhile, Ukraine has claimed successful strikes on key targets within Russia. The defense ministry has added that its latest briefing in over the past 24 hours that the control over the settlement of Kirovsk in the Donetsk region was nearing completion. The ministry has claimed that the strikes on 142 Ukrainian sites, including long-range drone storage and launch sites, as well as temporary deployment points of Ukrainian forces and foreign fighters. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, meanwhile, has said that US President Donald Trump had given direct support for strikes on Russian energy and defense industry targets. Zelensky has stressed that Ukraine would respond in kind if Russia continued to hit Ukrainian energy infrastructure. Meanwhile, Donald Trump has pointed out that Ukraine has a chance of regaining its territory that Russia has annexed. He's also stated that they had a shot, as he has stated that he's very dissatisfied with what Russia is doing. Listen in.
Well, because I've been watching the way what Russia's been doing. I'm very dissatisfied with what Russia's doing and what President Putin is doing. I haven't liked it at all. He's killing people for no reason whatsoever, and they are doing very poorly, considering they have put it all out on the line. Their economy is going to hell. They're bombing the hell out of everything, and they're picking up very little territory, if any. In fact, they're losing some territory. So I think it's been very bad for the reputation of Russia. This war should have been over. If this were our war, we would have had it over in 1 week.
With us on the broadcast is Mr. Glenn Grant, former advisor to the Ukrainian defense minister, joining us from Kiev. Thank you, sir, for taking out time speaking with us on NewsX World. Interesting statement from Donald Trump yet again. He pointed this out even while he was addressing the UNGA. He stated that initially this war was supposed to be a skirmish, but then it's escalated, and now it is still going on, set to enter its 5th year very, very soon. With this U-turn, once again, in your assessment, is Trump finally waking up to the ground realities?
It would be very nice to think so, but one needs to actually to see some action on his part, or is it just words that actually disassociating himself in America from this problem and giving it to Europe and Ukraine themselves? Because the way it seems to me is that this is a very good way of him saying, well, I let you do this and you failed. So I think we actually need to see something a bit harder from him than just words that he can turn round on nearly in the future.
And you're saying that we need much more than lip service. How do you think should the Americans then go about as far as addressing the security concerns Ukraine has on the ground?
Well, America has still got huge amounts of equipment that will make a vast difference to the way Ukraine fights. And I mean, we're not talking about just modern equipment. I mean, they've got fields and fields and fields of vehicles, tanks, aircraft, almost none of which they've given to Ukraine. I mean, most of the European countries have given more tanks to Ukraine than America has. So that, there's a lot more physically that they could do, but I don't think they will. I think that this is just Trump's words, and it's like excusing himself from the battle. I've given the problem to you, Ukraine. Now get on with it, but without help.
And what must Europe do at this point? NATO, of course, has now banded together. We've been speaking about Operation Eastern Sentry for quite a while now. And we've also been seeing these drone incursions that have taken place in Poland, in Romania as well. So how can NATO, in fact, help Ukraine at this point?
Well, one needs to separate out Europe from NATO in the arguments. And the NATO, Sakur said yesterday that NATO is actually going to step up with its Eastern Front uh, activities. But then that doesn't tell us whether they will do anything if something actually happens across a country. Because we've now seen drones in Denmark, Norway, and of course Poland with that. And nobody's actually done anything against these drones. So we actually need to see whether countries will take this seriously and in future bring down drones, or whether they will all stay collectively with NATO and do nothing. Uh, th- these are big questions, and there are no real sensible answers yet.
All right, sir. With that, I would like to thank you for taking our time, sharing your perspective.